day 6. This day of your email is unskippable. This includes, and also the section of your workbook that has the must-have labs. This is day 6. The must-have labs for thyroid, just to recap here, are free T3, free T4, total T3, total T4. Yes, free and total for both T3 and T4. Reverse T3, anti-TPO, and anti-TG. So that's 7. Nowhere in this did you hear me mention TSH. If you've seen a doctor in the past decade, chances are high they've only ever tested TSH. And as an afterthought, they might have checked the box for T4, whether that's usually it's free T4. Usually they don't pay attention to total T4. TSH is bullshit. TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. It's made by the pituitary. It gives no real indication of how well your thyroid is functioning. It gives no real indication of whether your thyroid is actually making T3 and T4. It gives no indication of how well the cells of your body are converting T4, which is the quote unquote storage or circulating form of thyroid hormone, into T3, which is the active thyroid hormone. Reverse T3 is generally regarded as an anti-metabolic hormone. Basically, you have 3 different enzymes that are present at different ratios in every single cell, tissue, organ of the body. And these enzymes are capable of taking T4, which if we're talking the thyroid makes T3, which is the active. Yes, hang with me here. Okay. I know you're wanting to check out because you feel like your eyes are glazing over. Hang with me. Okay. The thyroid makes about 20% T3, 80% T4. T3 is the active, T4 is the quote unquote storage. Why the hell would why would your thyroid bother making storage instead of active? Well, it's because you don't want a shit ton of active floating around in the bloodstream. The active needs to be made at the cellular level in the mitochondria of the cells. Thyroid hormone is a powerhouse. It needs to get into the cell and into the nucleus of the cell to supply energy and to be converted. And that's where we don't want all this crazy amount of energy floating around in the bloodstream. We want it in the cells of the body where it's needed. Your cells are actively the ones that need the energy, and that's where we want it. So cells, these 3 enzymes, and there's specific ratio, once again, in different cells and different tissues of the body, convert T4 to either T3 or reverse T3, depending on the enzyme. And they have a specific ratio at which each one of these enzymes converts to either or, and then the additional metabolism that happens beyond just conversion into T3. Now, what's interesting is the pituitary has a very distinct ratio of these 3 enzymes. So that means that as blood flows through the pituitary and the pituitary recognizes the amount of circulating free T3 and free T4, it responds in one way to those circulating levels that the rest of the body responds differently to, because the rest of the body has different ratios of those 3 enzymes. So this circles back to the fact that TSH has no real bearing whatsoever on thyroid function. And I learned this the hard way. For about 2 years, I was walking around with raging hypothyroid symptoms, convinced I had a thyroid problem. And the idiot doctors, yes, I said that correctly, the idiot doctors I was seeing did not know to test for thyroid antibodies. Good God, man. At the time, it was 2016. They should know better. When I finally went to a doctor who knew to test anti-TPO, which is anti-thyroid peroxidase, it came back high, indicative of Hashimoto's thyroiditis. I was walking around with quote unquote normal, which meant in range levels of T3 and T4, both total and free, and I had raging Hashimoto's. I'm still irritated by that. So, anyways, These are must test labs, and a doctor that's just testing TSH is a doctor that doesn't deserve to have a doctor's license. You can send this video to them. All right. That's all for today. I'll catch you in day 7.